Max, you were going to say something and add to the
Yeah.
conversation.
So this is the thing. If the panel think that Jason is out of his league, then the issue is with Liz, not with Jason.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, she's allowed him, even though, quote unquote, she's out of his league, to talk to her and to connect with her. That's not Jason's problem. Jason is a baller. Ballers are taught to shoot their shot where they can. Yeah? So if he's shooting his shot and he's getting those 3 points, what's that? That's not his business. That's good. Good for him. Good for him. So if there's an issue here, the energy needs to go to Liz for selling herself short, if that's what you believe. Not to Jason for shooting his shot and handling his business. That's not small boy energy. What he's doing, that's not small boy energy at all. If you actually look at his interactions, when he was with Ida, he let her talk, he kept silent. When he was with Alexis and she was talking about her period or something like that, he was just like, girl, let me get a sip. Like he just vibes with whoever's there. And with Liz, he's read her energy and he's like, yeah, I know I'm able to push here. Why did he go in to kiss her? I feel like even when he was in the confessional and he was like, oh yeah, whoever other guys she may be feeling, she connected with me the deepest or something like that. I'm like, okay, interesting that's what you took away. But for me, I feel like he just sees the green light and he just sees an opportunity. And he's like, I'm gonna push this until, as far as I can. And again, that's not his problem. Women need to know their own worth. Women need to know he's not for me. Liz leading with celibacy for me is a no. Not that she should change the values or change that she wants to be absent, not at all. But her leading with that gives a guy the opportunity to give her the best answer without having any action following. For me, that's not something you lead with. You need to let his true colors shine. Jason saying, "Oh, yes, I can honor you," or something. Hold on. Really, when it comes to values, you don't want people who can respect them. You want people who share them. And so for Liz, I really feel like she plays herself leading with that conversation. Just watch the men. But again, you have to remember, Liz hasn't been dating for like 17 years. And so I understand why she may lead with that and why. Again, it does help sometimes because it whittles that guys down quickly. So, but I just think sometimes we show too many of our cards when we actually need to learn to assess people and kind of just let the chips fall where they may. And I'm not saying, you should, and this is the thing, you have to be careful with that because some people take this quite literally and be like, okay, I'm going to put my guard down and then we're in bed now. And I thought, no, I'm not saying it like that. What I'm saying is get to know the person, be able to ask the right questions and don't have to ask the really direct questions. Be able to ask around, be able to test someone's character so that you're able to really find out more about them without being so explicit all the time. I just think that's not tactful. And I think the way Liz is presenting herself is why Jason is taking all of the shots he can. Because I feel like if it was Benicia, would he have gone for a kiss? Like, why did he think he could go for a kiss? What was her energy saying? Because for me, there's a lot of women that I feel like guys wouldn't try that with. They'll be like, rah, like a CEO in her 40s or a 40 and beautiful. Like, I just thought, why did he feel confident enough to do that? So for me, the energy is not for Jason, it's for Liz. And I love Liz. I think she's beautiful. But if we're talking about leagues, guys, again, energy is not for Jason, it's for Liz. You have to know your own worth. You need to know where to draw the line. And I'm not sure why he felt comfortable enough to kiss her. But in any analysis, that's not a small boy move.
Max, Max, just before you go off, can you just go back to your point? Oh man, what was the point now? It was so wavy. About letting them speak and stuff, yeah, because I think that was a good point that you mentioned about
with the celibacy.
Yes,
yeah,
not leading with celibacy and stuff. Yes, that was it.
So this is the thing, and I want to be really clear because I hold these values, but I wouldn't advise someone to go on a date and be like, "Oh, what do you think about sex before my?" Hey, calm me down. Hold on a sec, all right? Like you need to take a minute. Let them land, let them talk. I mean, he's brought a lot of sexual energy. Read that first. Read that first, okay? Because even if you believe in celibacy or not having intercourse, some people have different versions of no sex before marriage, right? So if Liz is talking about let's not do anything, is that even articulated by just asking the guy? Like, there's just so much more nuance to it. And again, there's the fact that you want someone who is a man of his word, and you just don't know that by asking them an outright question. Sometimes you need to be able to see the fruit first, and then you're able to make better judgment. So I feel like if that means dating for longer and learning the right questions and also spirit of discernment, then that's what you need to do. But to just come outright and say, are you going to be celibate with me, or do you like, no, that's not going to get you the result you want, and they can lie to you. And I want sis to be protected because you can tell she genuinely has those views. So I just think we need a bit more wisdom with how to approach that part of the dating scene.
And it's unfortunate because she's been in situationships, as she called them, for the last 17 years. That can really dull your picker. Your discernment can get dulled in that state. Plus, you couple with it the whole, her belief system and everything. Sometimes the church guy just walk up, hence David, and you're like, ah. And it's like, nah, sis, dig deep, dig deeper. Just because he's sitting in the next pew doesn't mean he's the one either. Because quite honestly, we should give smoke for her because Jason ain't it, and neither is David.
And just a quick point on that, because I think, Kojo, I've seen you touch on it before, this idea that people who look for people who will be celibate with them, they get married and they're like, oh no, hold on, I didn't check anything else. I just checked that they wouldn't sleep with me. Actually, his character is horrible, other than the fact that he hasn't slept with me. So I feel like that checklist is hella short. You're not going to sleep with me, fab, let's go. And it's like, sis, hold on. There's a few other things you need to check. And again, sometimes when you grow up in the church environment, you don't learn that nuance. Again, Liz's last relationship was in high school. So maybe, I don't know, the dating scene has matured. I don't know. There's just something missing for me in the way that she's calculating these scenarios. But yeah, that just came back to mind, this idea that sometimes people only check celibacy and not character and fruit and all these other things. And this is why you can't just dive in with that question, because there's so much more to be checked.